Hey guys, Joe with Everything Evo here. Just wanted to run through the music mod app that's available now. It's downloadable in the market, and basically what it does is it just adds on, well, it replaces in actuality, but it takes a stock player and gives it a kind of a facelift. It's pretty sweet. As you can see, I've got a widget that's actually 4x3, 3 tall and 4 across, instead of having to either do the stock widgets, which give you very limited options. You can actually see here, let me pull it up, that the music mod gives you a ton of different widgets setups to choose from. So there's a lot of flexibility there, which is great. Next, you'll notice that it's kind of a transparent widget, so you can still kind of see my background in the back, which is Mario. But it just looks a lot better than the stock. Anyway, it kind of operates the same as the stock from the widget, so just click the album art to get in to the music player here. You can see at the top you've got artists, albums, songs, playlists, instead of having to hit the menu button or go that route. You hit down here, it takes you to the player. Now, one thing that is different with this player from, say, the stock player, besides the obvious different kind of album art setup, is that it does have the transparency in the background, so your background shows through, which I think is kind of neat. Plus, it also gives you full screen. You'll notice that the notification bar at the top is gone. That is something that you can set in the options. So if you want to see your notification bar for battery life, etc., you can have that in there. But this kind of gives it that sleek feeling, I guess. It operates pretty much the same way as the stock player in regards of playing and skipping and all that stuff. With the exception of a couple of other things. Let's get into settings here. You'll see that you get a pretty good amount of settings with this one that you don't get with the stock player. Screen on while charging, unpause on connect. So basically, you know how the stock player, when you pull out the headphones, they cause player to pause. Well, this allows it to not only do that, but when you put headphones back in, the player resumes playing. As you can see now, I have the full screen enabled. You can disable that. One thing that is real neat on this particular model is the gesture control. Now what it basically does is it gives you gestures, and you can get down here and see the list of the gestures. I know you can't see it very well on this video. You'll just have to kind of see and play for yourself. But what gestures controls do, let's get in here. Alright, so like right now I'm playing, and I want to go to the next track. All I have to do is just make a gesture and it goes to the next track. Oh, I'm sorry, that's play and pause. Next track is just swipe over. And the same thing for going back. So that's pretty neat to have, just kind of like a little flick of your finger and you go to the next track. You don't have to fumble for your pause button or your next or previous buttons down at the bottom. If you have this just kind of laying next to you on a table, all you have to do is kind of give it a little flick like that and it's the next track. So that's really great, really handy, especially if you're listening to it in your car and you don't want to take your eyes off the road while you're driving. So that's a feature that is definitely awesome that you don't get with the stock player. Let's get back here. See, now this is what you're going to get a lot of the time when you initially set this up. You're going to have the option to complete the action using the music or the music mod. So after you've installed the music mod, if you want to use it all the time, basically hit use this as my default action and hit the music mod, and it'll make sure to use that only. That way it'll, like I said, it layers over the music player, but at the same time it replaces it. So you just have to make sure that you have it select that. And as you can see, the album art is in the background of the track listing, which is really cool. Like I said, there's a lot of aesthetics that have been improved with this music mod. It's really quite beautiful, actually. Now, one thing that I do really like in this one, I know for a long time Android didn't have this as an option. You had to go through some back doors to get songs in the playlist, but just press and hold. You have all your options just right there. Add a playlist, use phone as ringtone. So I want to add to a playlist, so I can either add it to a current playlist or add it to a new playlist. But also the great thing about playlists, and I need to do this again. I just wiped my phone, so having to redo all this stuff. Make sure that you hit this use by default for this action, so it doesn't keep popping up on you. Yeah, see, I have no playlist, so let's create one real quick. Let me get into the artists. We'll get into some Bob Dylan here. Bob Dylan's greatest hits. The times are changing. I want to add that to a playlist. I'll do a new playlist, and I'll name that playlist, and you can see that I'm using swipe, and I'll just call this Mellow. Bam. Alright, so now I have a new playlist, and it's called Mellow. So the times are changing are there, and let's say I want to put, you know, Just Like a Woman in there too. Don't judge me for that, please. Just doing a demo. So I'm going to add that to the playlist, and Mellow. Bam. So that one's also in the playlist. And I can just keep going through here and find some, you know, different songs like Broken Bells. I don't have album art for it right now. That's another app that I'll be showing later on, is the album art grabber, but that's another video. But let's say I want to add, where's that song that I really like? Sailing to Nowhere. Add to playlist, Mellow. Alright, so that one's added. Great. Now let's say I want to put some like Coldplay in there. 42, add to playlist, Mellow. Okay, so we've got 4 songs in our playlist now. So I'm going to go back, going to go to the playlists, hit up Mellow, and again that little pop-up comes up, so I'm going to use by default music mod. And here's one thing that in the music mod is great that you don't see a whole lot in the stock player, is the ability to move the songs in the playlist without having to actually go in and, you know, menu, change song order and all that unnecessary crap. You can just drag and drop. Also, you have the ability to do a party shuffle, which will just basically do kind of like a party shuffle on an iPod. So I mean, it's just got a lot of features that you don't see in the stock. The widget is beautiful, as you can see, and like I said, there are several different widgets for this particular mod. I would like to point out that this mod does not, I repeat, does not require root access. So a stock Droid can run this mod. The only stipulation is you have to be running Android 2.2 with the Froyo update. So I assume that by now all the Evos are updated. If they're not, send me a tweet at Everything Evo, and we'll see what we can do about getting you the update. But yeah, you do need to have Froyo in order to use this update. So other than that, I would recommend downloading it, playing with it, see if you like it. It's called Music Mod, Froyo only, in parentheses. You can get it off the market, and it's just a great addition to the Evo. It makes it that much cooler. Thanks for watching.